JHS Knowledge Alerts. Insights to help you sharpen your governance, risk, and compliance knowledge. Issued by Knowledge Management Team of JHS and Associates LLP. To view the alert, visit www.jhsassociates.in.
Knowledge Alert, Weekly November 2018. Reserve Bank of India. Particulars. Guidelines on Value-Free Transfer, VFT, of Government Securities. VFT of Government Securities means transfer of securities from one subsidiary general ledger, SGL constituent subsidiary general ledger, CSGL, to another SGL/CSGL account without consideration. RBI has issued guidelines providing the permitted transactions for VFT. Implication. Issue of these guidelines by RBI would enable more efficient operations in government securities market. It may be noted that VFTs which are not covered by these guidelines will require specific approval of RBI. NBFC's registration cancelled. RBI cancels certificate of registration of 68 non-banking financial companies. RBI has therefore cancelled the certificate of registration of these NBFCs and they shall not transact the business of NBFC. RBI Board Meeting. RBI and its board meeting decided to constitute committee to examine economic capital framework of RBI. It will consider scheme for restructuring of stressed assets of MSME with aggregate credit facilities of up to 25 crore rupees. RBI also decided to examine framework for banks under prompt corrective action, PCA. This would help in increasing credit for small businesses. The measures taken would help in easing rift between government and RBI. Padma Shri Dr. Vithalarao Vic Patil Cooperative Bank continues to be placed under directions under Section 35A of Banking Regulation Act. Padma Shri Dr. Vithalarao Vic Patil Cooperative Bank Limited, Nashik, Maharashtra was placed under directions under Section 35A of Banking Regulation Act via directive by RBI. The directive shall continue to apply to the bank for further 6 months from 19th of November 2018 to 18th of May 2019. The bank will continue to undertake banking business with restrictions till its financial position improves. Securities and Exchange Board of India. SEBI orders. SEBI imposes fine of 2.45 crore rupees on 19 persons for doing manipulative trades. SEBI has imposed total penalty of 2.45 crore rupees on 19 entities connected as a group for indulging in manipulative trading in scrip of Ashdev International. The penalty imposed is in range of Rs 5 lakhs to 30 lakhs on these individuals. On conducting an investigation in the shares of the company, it was observed that entities which were connected to each other executed match trades, self-trades and reversal trades and created misleading appearance in the securities market. Hence SEBI imposed penalty on these entities for violating the provisions of FUP, Prohibition of Fraudulent and Unfair Trade Practices Relating to Securities Market, Regulations. Implication. The notices shall pay the amount of penalty within 45 days from the receipt of this order. Reasons for delay in submission of financial results to be disclosed. It has come to the notice of SEBI that submission of financial results by listed entities has been delayed in the past, but the reasons were not specified clearly. SEBI has issued circular mandating listed companies to disclose detailed reasons for delay in submission of financial results to the stock exchanges within 1 working day of the due date of submission for the results. If decision to delay the results was taken prior to the due date, listed entity has to disclose detailed reasons within 1 working day of such decision. This would help in making investors aware about the reasons for such delays and help them in taking informed investment decisions. The circular shall come into effect immediately. Fines imposed for indulging in manipulative trades. SEBI has imposed total penalty of 3.5 crore rupees on 23 entities connected with each other for indulging in manipulative trading in scrip of Sayonand Commercial Limited. In another order, SEBI has imposed penalty of 2.45 crore rupees on 18 entities for manipulative trading in the scrip of Parichai Investments Limited. Some of the entities had indulged in manipulative trading of both the scrips. These entities executed among themselves match trades, reversal trades and self-trades, creating misleading appearance in the securities market and thus violating the provisions of FUP, Prohibition of Fraudulent and Unfair Trade Practices Relating to Securities Market, Regulations. The notices shall pay the amount of penalty within 45 days from the receipt of this order. Promoters of firms that are delisting allowed to make counteroffer. SEBI has notified SEBI, Delisting of Equity Shares, Second Amendment Regulations, 2018. The amendment allows the promoter to make counteroffer to shareholders of company that is planning to delist from stock exchange, and if it is accepted, delisting should be treated successful. It also provides that the counter price should not be less than the book value and offer should be accepted by such number of shareholders so that the promoter shareholding reaches 90%. This will plug loopholes in the current delisting method and would give the promoter a say in the price offered to shareholders during the process of delisting. Penalty of R65 locks imposed on Apollo Tires. SEBI has imposed a penalty of R65 locks on Apollo Tires Limited for violation of buyback regulations. The company and promoters bought back shares of Apollo Tires Limited in contravention of provisions of Companies Act and SEBI regulations. Hence SEBI imposed a penalty on the company. The noticee shall pay the amount of penalty within 45 days from the receipt of this order. New rules for reclassification of promoters. SEBI has notified SEBI, Listing Obligations and Disclosure Requirements, 6th Amendment Regulations, 2018. The new rules provide for conditions for reclassification of promoter as public investor, wherein the promoter seeking reclassification shall not be allowed to hold more than 10% voting rights in the listed entity. He shall not exercise control over the affairs of the entity, not be represented on the board or act as a key managerial person, shall not have any special rights through formal or informal arrangements, shall not be a willful defaulter or fugitive economic offender. The rules also state that the listed entity should be compliant with 25% minimum public shareholding requirement, its shares should not be suspended from trading, and the entity should not have any outstanding dues to SEBI, stock exchanges or depositories. With the implementation of new rules, the outgoing promoters will not be able to exercise control on the company directly or indirectly. The amendments will also bring more clarity in the current regulations. Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Particulars. E-newsletter on GST. Indirect Taxes Committee of ICAI has issued new edition of e-newsletter on GST. This newsletter includes latest updates on GST and relevant articles on important issues under GST. Implication. This newsletter will help the members in updating their knowledge regarding GST. Chartered Accountants, Procedure of Investigations of Professional and Other Misconduct of Cases, Rules amended. The rules have been amended allowing Chartered Accountants, CAs, to appear before the Disciplinary Committee of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, ICAI, through video conference. Henceforth, the appearance before Disciplinary Committee will also include appearance through video conference. Survey on State of the Internal Audit Profession in India. Internal Audit Standards Board, IASB, of ICAI invites chartered accountants to participate in an online survey on the state of the internal audit profession in India. The survey intends to study and evaluate current and anticipated future state of internal audit profession to develop required action plans. Response to the survey can be submitted till 15th of December 2018. Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Particulars. Committee for Finalizing BRR Format. MCA constitutes Committee for Finalizing Business Responsibility Reporting, BRR, format for listed and unlisted companies based on the framework of updated National Voluntary Guidelines, NVGs. Implication. The committee shall formulate the BRR format for listed and unlisted companies and submit its report. Form Mr. 2 revised. Form Mr. 2, Form of Application to the Central Government for Approval of Appointment of Managing Director or Whole-Time Director or Manager, is revised on MCA portal from 20th of November 2018. Stakeholders are kindly advised to check the latest version of Form before filing. MCA invites comments on Competition Act. MCA has constituted a committee to review the Competition Act/rules/regulations taking into consideration the changing business environment. The committee will study international best practices in the competition law and suggest required changes in the framework. The updated version of Competition Act 2002 is available on the website. Comments/suggestions from stakeholders are invited by MCA, which can be sent till 7th of December 2018. Form ADT3 and Mr. 1 to be revised. Form ADT3, Notice of Resignation by the Auditor, and Form Mr. 1, Return of Appointment of Managing Director/Whole-Time Director/Manager, are likely to be revised on MCA portal from 22nd of November 2018. Stakeholders are kindly advised to check the latest version of Form before filing. Central Board of Direct Taxes. Particulars. Father's name not mandatory for PAN application form. CBDT notifies income tax, 12th Amendment, Rules, 2018. The rules provide that furnishing of father's name is not mandatory for an individual whose mother is a single parent. The notification also provides that entities which make financial transactions worth Rs 2.5 lakhs or more during a financial year shall have to mandatorily apply for a PAN card. Implication. The entities required to apply for PAN card shall apply for same on or before 31st May of the year immediately following such financial year. These rules shall come into effect from 5th of December 2018. CBDT Advisory on Service Charge collected from customers. CBDT has issued advisory on treatment of service charge collected from customers by hotels/restaurants. It has said that if service charge receipts are not passed on to the staff or if there is some underreporting or non-reporting of receipts, it should be brought to tax. It has clarified that while framing assessments or carrying out verification, it is necessary to examine the books of accounts of hotels and restaurants about disclosure and disbursement details of service charge transactions. The hotels and restaurants will have to act wise and either not collect such levy on the total bill or pass on its effect to the staff and workers. Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs. Particulars. Calcutta High Court has held that lottery is an actionable claim which is liable to GST. The assessee, having business of selling lottery tickets of various states within state of West Bengal, had filed a petition seeking declaration that lotteries are exempt from tax under the GST law. The High Court relied on a decision of Supreme Court and held that lottery is an actionable claim and would come within the scope and ambit of CGST Act and West Bengal GST Act. Therefore lottery can be charged to tax under the CGST Act and West Bengal GST Act. Seized goods could be released if e-way bill was produced before date fixed for reply held by Allahabad High Court. The competent authority had seized goods of assessee under transport and vehicle on ground that e-way bill was not accompanied with goods. In response to notice issued, the assessee produced e-way bill before date fixed for reply. In this case, the High Court held that seized goods could be released by the authorities. The competent authority was directed to release goods and vehicle forthwith. No action against Amway in absence of specific evidence of profiteering, ruling by NAA. Applicant filed an application requesting action for alleged violation of provisions of CGST Act relating to anti-profiteering, on the ground that respondent company had not passed on benefit of reduction in GST rates on selected items to its customers. There was no specific evidence of profiteering against respondent company. The authority ruled that the application is not maintainable as no further investigation could be conducted in absence of description of any product, name of supplier and specific evidence of profiteering. The authority did not find any violation of provisions relating to anti-profiteering. Goods and vehicles to be released on furnishing bank guarantee, directs Kerala High Court. The assessee supplied material but the consignment note did not contain the details of the vehicle used for consignment. The authorities detained the vehicle and the goods. The assessee furnished bank guarantee for tax and penalty and a bond for the value of goods as prescribed in the rules and filed a petition for release of goods. The court held that the authorities should release the goods and vehicle on furnishing bank guarantee. Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India. Particulars. Exposure Draft on Amendments to IRDAI, Appointed Actuary, Regulations, 2017. IRDAI has issued Exposure Draft proposing amendment in IRDAI, Appointed Actuary, Regulations, 2017. The amendment proposes to give exemption to insurers from appointing actuaries for further period beyond 1 year. Comments/suggestions on the proposed amendment can be sent till 30th of November 2018. Constitution of Working Group to visit product structure of motor-owned damage. Taking into consideration developments in the market of products relating to motor insurance, IRDAI has constituted a working group to revisit the product structure of motor-owned damage. The working group will revisit the classification of products under motor-owned damage and arrive at a revised framework for motor insurance. The working group will also consider expansion of product suite to include technology-enabled insurance products. For any comments, query or recommendations you can mail us on connect@jhsassociates.in or call us on 08097095060.